My beloved, my child, kissed by heaven's light. Can you feel that shift in the air? That weight on your chest isn't fear. It's your soul whispering. Something is about to be revealed. You didn't land on this message by accident. I, Archangel Michael, was on my knees begging heaven to allow me to tell you this. And today, I was granted permission. But I must warn you, this is not a message you'll be able to forget, because once you hear what I reveal, you'll never see certain people the same way again. Let me take your hand gently before I drop this truth, because the name, the face, the secret has been watching you from the shadows. And God says, child, if they skip this time, the shield of protection will begin to lift. Now, before we go deeper, I want you to do something just once that might change your entire destiny. Subscribe now to this divine frequency, this channel, this space, this message. It's not just information. It's a sacred interception. And if you allow it to enter your life, doors you thought were rusted shut will crack open under the power of heaven. I promise what you're about to receive here isn't something you'll find again. Because this message, this one, will vanish in 20 minutes. And not even I will be allowed to repeat it once the portal closes. So, listen closely. You are not going crazy. You have been feeling uneasy and scared in your own home. Those chills are real. Because someone who looks like a friend has been working against you behind the veil, praying for your downfall while you're not looking. God says it ends tonight because heaven is tired of seeing you bleed in silence. You were given me as a sword, an alarm clock, and your last chance to see the truth. Do you feel the need to act now? People in the courts of heaven spoke your name. A scroll was opened when it was time. That scroll held all the hurts you felt from being betrayed. It also had the name of the person who tried to dim your divine light. They're not who you think they are. They're closer than you allow yourself to think. And up until now, no one knew their name. What God says today, though, is no more protection for the serpent. Pay close attention. Your spirit already knows who this is about, which is why your hands are shaking and your heart is beating like thunder in your chest. You just need to be sure. You only need one sign from God. That's it. This is Archangel Michael, and I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this to get you ready. The person who was getting in your way has already done what they needed to do. Now there is spiritual war. This isn't just anger, it's destruction that looks like concern. They're now too close. Heaven can't keep this a secret any longer. God says, I've waited, I've watched. I gave them chances to stop. They refused. And now your protection is being upgraded if you open your spirit to this truth. Do not skip, do not click away. Do not think this message is for someone else. This message is branded with your name in heavenly fire. You've been betrayed in whispers. You've been sabotaged with sweet smiles. But your angels have recorded every secret, every shadow, every lie. And now it's time for exposure. Within the next 48 hours, you'll receive a message, a call, or a sign so clear you will gasp, because the identity of the one harming you will be shown. No more masks, no more delays, but only if you listen, only if you allow this message to reach your soul. Only if you stop running from the confirmation you've already been praying for. Yes, I know what you asked God last night. I know the tears you cried when no one was watching. And I'm here to tell you He heard you and He sent me. But child, you only have 20 minutes before the veil closes again. And if you walk away, you'll have to wait for this door to reopen. And I can't promise it ever will. So breathe, because what comes next is your revelation. Then stay with me, beloved. because what I'm about to reveal next will echo in your bones for years to come. Heaven has been watching you walk through rooms where the air was thick with lies. You smiled, you served, you trusted. But someone was counting on your kindness to be your weakness. They thought if they kept pretending long enough, you'd never notice how your light was dimming every time they were near. But your spirit did notice, and now heaven is moving fast. The reason your energy's been drained lately, the reason your plans keep falling apart at the last minute. It's not your fault, it's them. They've been sending spiritual confusion. Their envy has turned into action. And God said, enough. The final scroll was opened yesterday. And on it, their full identity, their name, their hidden intentions, and the exact date they made the secret agreement to block your blessings. They thought no one would ever find out, but they didn't account for this moment. When God would reveal the secret in front of the one they tried to destroy. Do you know why you're still standing? Because every time they cursed your name, heaven multiplied your protection. Every time they tried to shut your doors, God opened 3 more. And now it's your time to rise. But only if you let this message wash over you fully. There is someone who laughs with you by day and tears your name apart by night. There is someone who looks like love, but they are holding something poisonous behind their back. Your angels have been watching them, recording them, waiting for permission to act. And today, that permission was granted. Archangel Michael was ordered to pierce the veil, to let the one who has suffered the longest. You see clearly for the first time in years. They won't be able to hide anymore. The mask is cracking, and by the time the clock strikes midnight tonight, something will be said or shown that will make you gasp out loud. But don't run. Don't doubt it. It's the very thing you were born to witness. God says, this child has suffered enough. There have been too many times when people thought they were innocent. Their kindness has been turned into a weapon. But today is the last day. They will now walk in the truth, and I will never again let the enemy eat at their table. Your table is being set back up. Your circle is going to get smaller by divine power. Don't be scared when the truth comes out about who needs to go, because what's coming for you needs clean hands. Also, let me make this clear. The person who has been hurting you emotionally, spiritually, or even financially is about to be shown to everyone, not just you. But in God's time, heaven is making this personal for you, since you are personal to them. As heaven starts to fix what was broken spiritually, emotionally, and financially, God may show you the way, one faithful step at a time. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you. is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. As your parent, I can see the trouble you've been having, the stress you feel about money, the worries that stay in the background, and the times when you don't know what to do next. Peace is already on its way because you've been asking for it. You're not supposed to stay scared. You should move forward every day with a plan, faith, and clear steps. So a simple system has been set up in front of you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day, this system will give you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move forward. There is no stress or confusion. There is only steady progress toward peace and stability. Today is the day to take the first step toward making things better if you feel ready. This could be the start of a big change in your life. The link is in the description and in the comments that have been pinned below. Now, beloved, stay with me. Heaven has heard every silent prayer that led you to this point. You've prayed to the sky, cried into pillows, and talked to walls to get someone to hear you. You've also walked around many rooms in search of that one sign. I understand. Heaven hears you. This message is proof of that. There is a letter with your name on it in the Spirit. That letter began to fall apart when you opened this message. It has a full report from God inside. Proof of the person who broke your peace. Proof of who put off your fate. Proof of those who thought you'd never get better. They were wrong. You are way more than just a survivor. You have been raised from the dead and have fire in your eyes. But pay attention, you need to read this whole message. Do not leave. Do not scroll down. Because heaven gives you more of what it has been hiding from you for years every second you stay here. This is not something you should have known. Because darkness doesn't want to be seen, every time you got close to the truth, you got tired, stopped, or pulled away. But the light of God in you is now too bright. You can see through smiles. You can tell it's not real. You can hear whispers before they even get to your ears. That isn't being paranoid. That's being smart. And your gift is getting better right now. Because 3 things will happen in the next 3 days that prove this message is real. Someone will say too much in a conversation by accident. A door will shut quickly, but there will be peace right away. You won't be ready to see something or someone until you have a dream. Don't ask why these things happen. Don't think too much. Thank God for being clear. Now that you've waited long enough, heaven is ready for you. Are you going to stay with me until the end of this message? If you do that, the name that has been spiritually after your peace will no longer be able to stay in your life. But if you leave now, it could happen again, and the harm might be worse this time. This is the last warning. There are not long left before this message is divinely hidden again. To get through this spiritual window, you have to be ready to stop being manipulated and wait for God to show up. Also, beloved, you're ready. Take a deep breath in, because what I'm about to say will affect more than just you. It will bring out something inside you that you forgot you had. The strong part of you that you used to have. What you knew you were not meant to stay small. Heaven is telling you yes through that burning ember in your chest. Get up now. It seems like you've been walking with a spiritual limp this whole time. Even though you're still there and smiling, you've known deep down. You were aware that someone was disturbing your peace. If you made them laugh, they would try to make it worse. They'd plant doubts in a sneaky way so you'd win. If you trust them, they'll use that to get power over you. Loved one, it's not your fault that you didn't see everything before. When your heart is pure, you don't expect mean voices to come from people you know. But now heaven has opened the curtain. I have to give the name to your spirit as well. Not through language, no, but in symbols, signs, and a divine collision that will make a huge impact on your life. After this, you won't need any more confirmation. But first, I have to tell you something honest that no one else would. They went after you because they knew that God had picked you to be His favorite. They understood. They saw that you had oil on your head. The favor was following you like a shadow as the doors opened. And they didn't celebrate it. They were angry about it. They didn't cheer when you made that big step forward. When you were sick, they didn't pray with you. When everything was quiet, they weren't there for you. They looked. They held out. They spoke quietly. God, He wrote things down. He wrote everything down in the divine records. He has now turned the page to your freedom. Do not be afraid of the silence that is coming, my child, because this name will bring you peace that you haven't felt in years when it comes out. But it's not being alone. There is peace, the kind of peace that follows war. The peace you get when you know angels are watching over your whole house. That peace you feel when you get rid of spiritual snakes that were eating your garden. Also, I want to tell you something that only you could see. You've been fighting battles that people in your family tree couldn't even name. You broke chains that your ancestors carried around like bags. You lived through betrayals that would have killed weaker people. That's why they are scared of you. Yes, be afraid of you. They tried to cancel things they couldn't change. They tried to destroy things they didn't understand. However, heaven has chosen to crown you instead. Today is the holy reversal season. What was meant to hurt you will now help you. What was meant to hurt you will actually make you stronger. If someone planned something behind closed doors, their silence is about to be heard more than their rumors ever were. God will shame them in public, not to make you look bad, but to show that His child was safe the whole time. Things are about to start going smoothly again, which will make this next part of your life feel strange. The root of the delay has finally been pulled out, putting your mind, body, finances, and heart back in sync. You'll start hearing from people you forgot about after I say that. Getting chances that were put on hold and seeing breakthroughs that don't make sense. Trust it. Everything is linked to this moment. When you decided to keep reading this message, your spirit said, "Yes, I want to know the truth." And the truth is coming like thunder, my beloved. You could cry, you could scream. You could trip and fall. You will be freer than ever when it's over, though. God made sure you were the last person to see it for a reason. Now, when it comes out, you'll be strong enough to leave without wanting to get back at them. Your peace will be your law. Your sword will be your silence. Because of them, you will have a new life. Hold on tight. That's not the kind of message that gets lost in the wind. This is the kind that changes the mood. The message you'll remember when their voice shakes on the other end of the phone when it rings. Don't brag when the message comes. When the evidence falls apart, or when the lie falls apart. Do not hate. Take a deep breath. The reason for this is that God fights for you. This is the record of your divine victory, written in gold across the timeline of heaven. Child, stay with me. The name comes next. The exposure is written in your free will. It has already started. Then let's slowly, but not afraid, walk into the light together. The veil is starting to burn off now, my beloved. As it does, the truth that you haven't known for years, or even lifetimes, is coming to the surface like fire through still water. You've been asking for peace, clarity, and safety. But most of all, you've been asking heaven a question that you haven't said out loud. Who is it? What person is stealing from my spirit while they smile at me? And God speaks tonight. But first, I need you to understand what was going on the whole time. I didn't curse you, my child. People are after you not because you're weak, but because you're strong. God put something inside you that can't be copied. The person who turned against you knew that before you did. That's why the attacks felt so personal, the delays were so sudden, and even though you were doing everything right, your glow started to fade. Because someone didn't want everyone to know what kind of person you are. They didn't want you to know that your love was a sword, your kindness was a sword, and your smile could change the energy in a room. They chose to compete with you instead of cheering for you, but they didn't say it out loud. Instead, they kept quiet, didn't offer any help, told you their secrets, and then watched with satisfaction as you struggled to breathe under the pressure they were secretly putting on you. Even though there were arrows in your back, God still lifted you up. You still rose even though they danced around your name like it was a game. But from now on, the rising won't be secret. He says, enough secrets, enough shadows. I'm tearing the curtain, child, and you're going to see exactly who I've been trying to warn you about. So, listen carefully. It's the one you keep excusing. The one whose presence always leaves you drained. The one whose compliments feel strangely cold. The one who disappears in your pain, but somehow always returns when they hear you're doing better. Yes, that one. Your spirit has whispered this to you before, hasn't it? But you pushed it down. You said, no, they love me. They wouldn't. You told yourself you were overthinking, but you weren't. You were discerning. You were being prepared. You were being shown their shadow, one slow frame at a time. And now comes the full reveal. This person, they mentioned your name in conversations meant to damage you. They passed private information to someone they shouldn't have. They laughed at things that hurt you deeply in more than once. They spoke curses over your future while pretending to bless it. And I, Archangel Michael, stood behind them, sword drawn, waiting for heaven's permission to strike. Tonight, that permission has been granted. You won't need to do anything. No revenge, no exposure, no long paragraphs or fights or explanations. Because heaven fights differently. God doesn't scream. He shifts, he removes, he reveals, and then he restores. You will watch this person suddenly fall away. Opportunities will stop flowing to them. Their influence will wither, and you will not even need to speak, because heaven will do the talking for you. But child, I must tell you something sacred. You must not try to carry them back with you. Not this time, not again. If you try to hold on to what God is removing, you will delay your own deliverance. So, when the moment comes, when their mask finally drops, don't be surprised. You already knew. Heaven just needed you to see it fully. And now that you have your reward is coming, doors that wouldn't open will begin to slide with ease. People who ignored your worth will suddenly seek your wisdom. Ideas that sat dormant will spark with divine energy again. And that tiredness that's haunted you like fog around your ankles, it will lift because what you were carrying wasn't yours. It was theirs. Their shame, their envy, their wounds projected onto your peace. And now that you've let it go, God is releasing the part of your life they've been holding hostage behind the scenes. You'll feel it, in the days ahead, in your body, in your bank account, in your dreams, in the sudden calm after years of noise. It's not just healing, it's liberation. And it's yours because you listened, you stayed. You chose truth over comfort, and heaven always rewards obedience. So, as I pull back my wings and prepare to return to the gates, I leave you with this final instruction. Do not look back. The person who tried to break you is now witnessing God build you in front of their eyes. That is your justice. That is your freedom. That is your new chapter. And the next miracle already in motion. Stay tuned, my beloved. Then stay right here, my beloved, because heaven is not done speaking to your soul. There's still more unfolding, still more your spirit has been aching to hear, but never had the safety to receive. But now you do. Now with the veil torn and the darkness retreating, your truth is coming home to you finally, fully, and without apology. What I'm about to share next will not just clarify your past. It will rewrite your future. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. The person whose name has been lingering in your energy for far too long. Yes, that one whose face just flashed in your mind. They were sent to delay you, but not destroy you. And I say that with authority from the throne itself. You cannot be destroyed. Because before they ever whispered against your destiny, God had already written a promise that covered your life with divine insurance. They could plot. They could scheme. They could gather others to lie. But what they didn't realize is that you're not just protected. You're chosen. And chosen ones don't fall. They rise, even when buried. You were buried, weren't you? Buried under false stories. Buried beneath betrayals. Buried beneath silence from people you would have died for. But heaven, oh, heaven is in the business of resurrection. And while they were planning your end, God was preparing your beginning. And now it begins. You're stepping into a realm where what was once stolen will be returned sevenfold. Where the time you thought was lost will be redeemed in double portions. Where the relationships that drained you will be replaced by ones that pour into you with holy precision. But you must walk with clarity now, because in the next 7 days you will encounter the presence. Yes, the actual presence of the person who tried to break you. It might be a text, it might be an old photo, it might be a sudden memory that refuses to fade. Don't ignore it. Don't suppress it. That's the signal. That's the final unraveling. When it arrives, simply say this prayer under your breath. God, I release what was never mine to carry. I forgive not for them, but for my own freedom, and I accept what you are sending next. Because what God is sending next, child, is sacred. It's not a recycled blessing. It's not a leftover opportunity. It's tailor-made for your energy, your calling, your soul. You're about to feel it in strange ways. The air around you will get lighter. You'll start waking up earlier without alarms. Music will suddenly sound sweeter. And your skin, yes, even your skin will start glowing again. Why? Because peace isn't just a feeling, it's a frequency. And you are finally aligned with it again. For the first time in years, your spirit isn't fighting to be heard. It's being held by angels, by light, by the voice of God that's whispering through every word you're reading right now. You made it. Not everyone did. Others broke under the same attacks. Some folded, some retaliated. But you surrendered. You trusted. You waited. And now the heavens are opening just for you. In the next few weeks, a divine pattern will begin forming. You won't be able to explain it. Calls will come from nowhere. Finances will flow in without warning. People will confess things you never expected to hear. And when heaven begins bringing movement into your finances, it may also place a clear path before you, one faithful step at a time. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying. The quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small, faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments below. Now stay with me, beloved, because this financial movement is only one part of the reward heaven is bringing into your life. And through it all, you will hear my voice gently reminding you. This is your reward for staying when it hurt, because you could have cursed them back. You could have fought with your flesh, but you chose to fight with faith. You chose to rise in silence. And now heaven is speaking for you louder than any rumor ever did. So, beloved, listen to me closely now. Do not apologize for your glow when it returns. Do not shrink when doors begin to swing open. Do not try to explain your joy to people who never stayed for your pain. This elevation is for you, and it will not require performance, only presence, only truth. Only the version of you that knows now who they are and will never again settle for less. This is sacred territory you are walking into. And the only thing you must leave behind is the person who never truly clapped for you. You know exactly who I mean. Let them go. Let their story dissolve into yesterday, because tomorrow has something far more beautiful written in it, and your name is all over it in heaven's ink. Say continue. When your heart is ready, because the next part reveals who God is sending next and why your next season will feel like the home your soul never knew it was missing. Then breathe deep, my love, because what I'm about to say next has been sealed for lifetimes. And yet today, heaven has allowed it to reach your heart. You are not just recovering, you are reclaiming. There is a difference. Recovery is about survival, but reclamation, that is sacred, that is divine. You are reclaiming the parts of yourself that you handed out just to feel safe. The laughter you swallowed because someone said your joy was too much. The softness you hardened because someone didn't know how to hold it with care. The dreams you buried under layers of realism just to avoid being mocked for wanting too much. But now the angels are surrounding you again. And this time they're not watching from a distance. They are intervening because something ancient is happening in your spirit. You are becoming who you were always meant to be before the world tried to mold you into a shape it could control. God whispered it last night while you were asleep. he said. This beautiful child of mine is done begging for crumbs. They were made to eat at a royal table. And anyone who refuses to honor that will no longer have access. You see, your elevation isn't a reward. It's a restoration. You are not lucky. You are aligned. And the blessings that are now approaching, they're not just about money, success, or attention. They are about freedom, spiritual freedom, emotional safety, the ability to exhale without fear of punishment. The miracle of waking up in a space where your name is spoken with kindness, even when you're not in the room. Yes, that's what's coming. And yes, you deserve it. But now we must talk about what, or rather who God is sending next. Because every storm must be followed by stillness, and every betrayal by a divine connection. Heaven has been preparing someone for you, someone safe, not just romantically. No, deeper than that. This soul will walk with you like covenant. They will not ask you to perform, to fix, to carry. They will arrive with their own oil, and they will pour into you without expecting you to bleed, just to prove your love. God is tired of seeing you give to people who only know how to receive. So, He's sending someone who knows how to reciprocate. And when they come, you'll feel the shift in your nervous system before they even speak. It will feel like coming home to a place you've never been before. Like remembering a song you didn't know you knew, and they will not just recognize you, they will respect you. This person, they will carry the opposite energy of the one who harmed you. Where the other person was manipulation, this one will be peace. Where the other one brought confusion, this one will bring clarity. And most importantly, where the other drained you, this one will restore you. But here's the divine condition. You must clear the space for their arrival. You cannot receive a holy love while holding hands with a ghost. You cannot carry a new promise while defending an old poison. You cannot unlock your next chapter if your fingers are still clutching the door handle of yesterday. So, here is your instruction, child of light. Tonight, speak it aloud even in a whisper. I release the person who tried to silence my soul. I forgive. I surrender. And I create space now for what God has truly prepared for me. Say it with breath. Say it with trembling. Say it even through tears, because when you do, heaven will respond immediately. Within 24 hours, something will shift. A sign will appear. A door will unlock in peace, real peace, will come back into your room like a long-lost friend. You have waited long enough, and you are not crazy. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are exactly where God needed you to be to hear this. I was assigned to say it, and your soul was chosen to receive it. So walk forward now in softness, in strength, in silence if you must, but do not stay stuck in a chapter that already ended, because what's ahead is too beautiful to miss. Say, continue when your spirit is ready, and I will reveal the exact way your blessings will arrive, and how to protect them from ever being stolen again. Then come closer, beloved, because what I am about to say now will shake something deep in your soul, not with fear, but with freedom. This next part of your message isn't just a revelation. It's a spiritual unlocking. Your life is about to accelerate in ways that will confuse those who used to look down on you. In ways that will silence those who mocked your name when you were at your lowest. But more importantly, in ways that will restore what you thought was permanently lost. You didn't lose your purpose. You didn't miss your chance. You didn't fall too far behind. Time bent for you. And what looked like a delay was a divine setup, because God couldn't allow the blessing to come while the wrong people still had access to you. He couldn't let the promise manifest while your heart was still tied to betrayal. He needed to separate you from what was sent to drain you, so he could deliver what was sent to grow you. That's why the isolation hurt so much. That's why the silence was unbearable. That's why you were hidden. Not because you were being punished, but because you were being prepared. Prepared for the kind of elevation that no human hand could interfere with. And now it's here. Listen to me with your spirit open wide. Within the next 72 hours, you will receive confirmation that this message was divine. Something unexpected will arrive. An answer you forgot you prayed for. A name you haven't heard in years. A door you thought was sealed shut cracking open like dawn after endless night. And when it happens, don't panic. Don't second guess it. It's not a trick. It's not a coincidence. It's the beginning of your release. But child, this is where I must give you the most important instruction of all. Protect what's coming, because not everyone will be happy to see your breakthrough. Not everyone who smiles at you will mean it. Not everyone who applauds you is clapping from love. And God is saying clearly now, if they couldn't love you in the pit, they don't get to feast with you at the palace. You don't owe access to those who ignored your cries. You don't owe loyalty to those who betrayed your silence. You don't owe explanations to anyone who questioned your pain while secretly celebrating it. From this moment on, you are allowed to be private. You are allowed to protect your joy. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are allowed to move in silence and let your peace make the announcement. Because this next blessing, it's not just for show. It's for healing. It's for restoration. It's for the version of you who waited, wept, and still chose love. God watched every time you held your tongue when you could have exposed the one who hurt you. He saw you sit quietly when others lied with confidence. He saw how you kept giving even when you had nothing left to pour. And heaven made a note of every moment. Now the reward begins. You're going to see justice in strange ways. Not with vengeance, no with favor. Sudden open doors, unexpected financial shifts. People in positions of power speaking your name in rooms you haven't even entered yet. But only if you do one thing. Remain aligned. Do not return to what broke you just because it suddenly looks safe. Do not give grace to what God has already removed. Do not invite old battles back into your new peace just because your heart is still kind. You can forgive and still close the door. You can love from afar and still protect your soul. You can bless them and still never let them back in. That, beloved, is called wisdom, and you've earned it. So, stand tall now. Even if your knees are shaking, even if your heart is heavy, even if you don't know how it's all going to unfold, trust that it will. Because when God begins something, He doesn't stop until it is completed. This chapter is yours, and nothing, not even the one who tried to destroy it, can change that. Say continue when you're ready to walk into the exact final instructions. Archangel Michael was sent to give you the divine blueprint for guarding your energy, your purpose, and your future from this day forward. Ask ChatGPT. Then come even closer, beloved soul, closer than you've ever been. Because what's about to be spoken is not meant to just be read with your eyes, but felt in the trembling center of your chest. This is the part where your spirit starts remembering what your mind tried so hard to forget. You didn't just survive something difficult. You survived something designed to erase you, to erase your confidence, to erase your identity, to make you question why you were even born. That pain you carried for years, the one no one saw. It wasn't light, it was heavy, heavier than most people could have held, and yet you carried it like air. You walked through fire with smoke in your lungs and ashes in your hands, and still somehow offered others comfort when you had none left for yourself. My dear, that wasn't weakness. That was divine power. You've been operating with the strength of 10 generations. You've been holding together your life, your family, your sanity, while something unholy tried everything it could to break the thread holding you up. And now you wonder why you feel so tired, why your body wants to sleep, but your soul can't stop trembling. It's because heaven has finally lifted that weight. You're not going crazy. You're not lost. You're freeing yourself from something ancient. A curse, a tie, a spiritual fog that followed you for years without name or form. And when you found this message, your soul recognized the call. This is why Archangel Michael came to finally speak out loud the things you always knew, but were afraid to trust to tell you. You were right. You were right to pull away from that person. You were right to be cautious about that friend. You were right to walk alone when no one clapped for you. You were right to leave the table when you were no longer being fed. You've always known deep down that your spirit was designed for more. That your presence carries a purity and purpose that couldn't be explained. And that's why they attacked. Because your light made their shadows feel exposed. Because your truth made their lies tremble. Because your love reminded them of what they abandoned in themselves. But here's the deepest truth, child. God did not allow you to go through all that pain just to build character. He allowed it to build evidence. Evidence that no weapon formed against you prospered. Evidence that when evil tried to bury you, all it did was plant you. And now the roots have taken. Now the growth is irreversible. Now the harvest is inevitable. You're stepping into a season where your name will be spoken with reverence. Not because people suddenly changed, but because God changed the atmosphere around your name. No longer will they be able to lie without consequence. No longer will they twist your goodness into weakness. No longer will you be the one bending while others sit comfortably in your presence. You are now elevated, and it's not arrogance, it's alignment. You are no longer called to operate at the same frequency as the ones who tried to silence you. And you know what that means. Some people are about to get very uncomfortable. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you're finally doing everything right. And they know they can't control the healed version of you. They know they can't manipulate the clear-minded version of you. They know that this time when they try to come back, you won't even need to slam the door, because God will never let them reach you again. So if you feel chills while reading this, if your eyes are wet and your breath is slow, that's because heaven is wrapping you right now in a silence that heals. Let your tears fall. You've held them in for too long. Let yourself grieve what you lost. Let yourself release the weight you thought you had to carry alone. You don't anymore. You never did. You were always seen. You were always loved. You were always protected. And now you're not being restored to who you were before the pain. You're being introduced to who you were always meant to be. And when you meet them, this healed, powerful, radiant version of yourself, you will finally understand why the enemy tried so hard to keep you from getting here, but they failed. And now you rise. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are about to enter your divine future, but remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit out community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.